Rajan Matthews on that note into the telecast. Mr. Matthews, same logic to you. The concept of e-governance. Now, e-governance is not just e-filing of tax returns. It's also about engaging with and taking feedback and ideas from citizens. Now, how do we facilitate that even further, sir? I think, Mr. Matthews, I think your mic is mute, sir. Could you just unmute it for us for a second? It'll be on your screen. There'll be at the bottom. There'll be a mic button.
Yeah,
got
so
it.
Do you
Got
hear
it.
me?
We're good.
Yeah. Thank you, Rishabh. I think the most fundamental basis on which all of these proposals and the sites work is obviously on our networks. And especially now as we've gone into this quarantine period, the value and the robustness and the uptime and the experience that customers have on the networks is become of critical apparent use. And I think one of the things that we strive at is to ensure that all of these applications, and many of them are heavy bandwidth utilization because they involve streaming interactions, to ensure that our networks can support this. And I think that has been one of the main emphases in the last several weeks of our operators to maintain the 99.99 uptime, because none of these applications could work if our networks are not up and running and provide the quality of service that is required by the end consumer.
No, and I've thanked you once for this already a couple of weeks ago, and it's my thanks once again. And great effort, because yes, we have our problems, as you well know, sir. But we've not had a dramatic failure in the country, which is appreciable. And for any digital system to work, the ISPs, including telecom operators who also provide internet services through 4G, need to carry on. Let me just quickly get in, Mr. Singh, once again.
Thank you.
Mr. Singh, one is the challenge without, and the challenge without is of getting people to actually know this exists and join in and come up with ideas. Now, we face here in the broadcast media the same challenge. A lot of people have been showcased on our shows, and we've seen phenomenal response from even within officialdom and government. One of the boys from IIT Delhi had come up with this machine to use UV rays to sanitize gloves and other surgical masks. He's just informed us that after our telecast last week, he's gotten the ISMR clearance to actually produce the product. How do we encourage more people and communicate this concept better so that more people can join in? Yeah, sir, I think your mic has gone mute. There'll be a button at the bottom of your screen to unmute the mic. Yeah, there, I can hear you now. Perfect.
System of promotion of Indian software products. And that is where the next wave of IT companies in India will come from.
No, just look at, if you're an entrepreneur out there, and if you haven't already, and if you have a solution or can come up with a solution and you haven't already jumped in, you should. Because just look, as soon as the GOI and you're the winner or one of the top three, how much publicity you'll get out of that, which will help that brand itself and take off publicly. And imagine if all government departments are using that technological solution, how much credibility the technological solution will get in the country at this point of time. So it's a great opportunity. If you haven't done it, here's your chance. Get in board. I think they've mentioned 125, Mr. Singh has mentioned, people have already jumped in. Many more people. Let's make a success out of this model, because everything we've been asking government to do in being open to take ideas is being exemplified in this model. So let's all jump in and get in this. Rajan Matthews, give us perspective from the other end. Right, because you, of course, represent a major industrial body for one of the biggest sectors in this country. It's not just an industry, it's an entire sector. But for a lot of novel entrepreneurs, just getting a hearing of a great idea can be very, very difficult. One such facilitation through government, I think it's a brilliant idea of this concept of making it competition-based, ideas-based rather than tender-based. Other things, that exist like Kickstarter and Indiegogo and Patreon, which are public sector, which are public-private sort of applications and websites to help young people germinate their ideas. How do we get that culture started here?
So, Risha, first of all, I would, sort of confirm, the great opportunities and the talent we have in India. There is no place like India for opportunities and for talent to develop. And let me just say this, that when we're talking about these applications, the route to success is to make sure that they work on our mobile phones, right? And so those take a certain amount of adaptation, right? So we offer labs and testing facilities because these protocols have to be tested, they have to be safe to connect, to work on our networks, there's interoperability issues and standards. So we in the industry offer two things, the ability to be able to provide mobility platforms because we have 1.1 billion connections. You want to get to unicorn status, the quickest way to do so is to ensure that your applications work on our mobility networks and on the mobile phones. I think that is a clear way. And so we support that, we give you volumes. And let me just mention two other things, Rishabh, that we need to focus on. One is a rural opportunity. Yeah. I think we can't afford to ignore the 40 to 50% of those folks, the talent that is there. Secondly, what I call the gender divide. We just are sitting on a whole lot of talent. The GSMA has come out with a study saying is that you can put over $50 billion into GDP by just getting those women to begin to use our mobile apps, our mobile applications, and our mobile networks. Look at the opportunity right there. So I think these are the areas we need to incentivize and push.
It's a great idea. Let me rope in Mr. K. Ganesh once again. Mr. Ganesh, for viewers watching the telecast, you've been part of promoting what are now household names. Big Basket, everybody knows of, certainly right now. And we had an opportunity to interview the CEO a couple of weeks ago. Portia Medical, we had an opportunity to speak to that team, also interview them just a few days ago. Hungerbox is another one of them. So we're talking about startup culture now. Outside knowledge, India has a very healthy startup culture, has a lot of problems. But these kind of solutions that enable people, I mentioned the Indiegogos and the Kickstarters and the Patreon kind of solutions that allow young people to get started before they reach your stage, where they're approaching you for investment, the seed funding. How do we create that culture as well?
I think today, because of the pandemic, the existing rules are changing. Whenever such a black swan event happens, it helps disruptors, young entrepreneurs, new startup, because they don't have to compete with old established incumbent players. So firstly, this is a great opportunity for this category of young entrepreneurs coming in and doing that. One.